The true cost of oil, how our dependence is destroying the environment. Petroleum, also known as oil, has been a driving force behind the global economy since the Industrial Revolution began in the late 18th century. According to some reports, it may well be the most traded commodity on Earth by 2020, and its supply and demand determine how much prices increase or decrease at gas stations around the world. But with so much dependence on this finite resource, it's important to understand how its use affects our environment and what we can do to minimize its impact going forward. Here are just some of the ways our dependence on oil threatens both ourselves and the planet we live on today. From where it all started. In 1848, an oil derrick was invented by Edwin Drake and Samuel Williams. It was called a Drake well. This took place in Titusville, Pennsylvania. In 1859, there were over 2,000 derricks used for drilling wells in Pennsylvania alone. From that point on, wells began to spread across America and it quickly became a hugely profitable business. In 1861, when Samuel Keir formed Western Petroleum Company, WPC, he predicted that the petroleum industry will become one of immense importance. And he was absolutely right. Companies like Standard Oil sprung up all over California as early as 1869. At first these companies extracted oil for kerosene lamps but later began refining oil for many other uses. How oil and coal produce the heat and energy needed today. Burning fossil fuels to produce heat and energy used for everything from industrial processes to household appliances. This process releases carbon dioxide into our atmosphere, which increases global temperatures. Scientists have linked these changes in climate to rising sea levels and temperature shifts that are harmful to wildlife, including plants and animals. Increased carbon dioxide levels also play a role in coral bleaching, where increasing water temperatures damage coral reefs and reduce their ability to survive. In addition, burning fossil fuels releases sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxides, mercury compounds, hydrocarbons, benzene, arsenic compounds, arsenic trioxide, particulate matter, coal dust, ash and other chemicals into our air and water supply. How this process affects us, animals and plants around us. It has been proven that more and more oil is being extracted from wells every year. This leaves a massive hole in the earth where there used to be a beautiful forest or a natural habitat for animals, plants, and wildlife. What makes matters worse is that many of these wells are deep underground, which takes longer for them to fill up with water again, meaning it takes years before all traces of humans are gone from that area. But in reality it might take up to several hundred years. Over 100 million liters of crude oil leak into our atmosphere each year through car exhausts and other types of pollution. One thing I didn't know was that half those leak gallons come from cars made over 20 years ago when America had little emissions regulations. Oil spills a result of human greed. Inland spills can contaminate groundwater and streams with toxic chemicals, especially when storage tanks break or pipelines leak. We need only look at two recent events to see how oil waste can impact humans and animals alike. In 2010, an Enbridge pipeline ruptured in Michigan's Kalamazoo River and spewed over 1 million gallons of crude into surrounding wetlands. The contaminants present in that spill still remain in wildlife, fish and plants today as they are dispersed around as they're transported through different ecosystems throughout natural waterways. Additionally, many organizations like Greenpeace have released statements claiming that up to 3 times more water was used for hydraulic fracturing processes than previously estimated. At least 30% to 50% of water produced by fracking contains chemicals or other material commonly found in fracking fluid according to these reports. Air pollution caused by emissions from vehicles running on fossil fuels. While vehicles are a popular choice for commuting to work and getting around, they also create air pollution that can lead to health issues like lung disease. Vehicles running on fossil fuels have been found to produce large amounts of carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxide, sulfur dioxide and hydrocarbons. Burning petrol in car engines has been found to significantly increase ground-level ozone levels, which can be dangerous for people with asthma or lung conditions such as COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. One study even showed that breathing in car emissions could also be tied to an increased risk of heart attack and stroke. Children may especially be at risk from air pollution if they don't have access to healthcare. Early studies found a link between exposure early in life and developmental problems later on. CO2 emission and its damaging effects on Earth's atmosphere. There are thousands of hydrocarbon compounds on Earth, and most have no effect on our environment. However, there are 3 that you should be very concerned about: carbon dioxide, CO2, methane, CH4, and nitrous oxide, N2O. These gases act as an insulator in our atmosphere by preventing heat from escaping into space. But they're contributing to global warming at a rapid rate because they trap heat 300 times more effectively than carbon dioxide alone. Between 1870 and 2000, CO2 levels increased by 32%, methane increased 151% and nitrous oxide increased 20%. It's estimated that today, one-third of all greenhouse gas emissions come from vehicles we depend on for personal transportation and business transportations. And that number is rising each year. Ways to beat this evil. One of the best alternates to beat this is use of electric cars more and more in the whole world. Remain steady when accelerating. Avoid braking aggressively. Cruise in top gear. Practice predictive driving. These are my suggestions. What's yours? Share your suggestions in comment box. That's all folks, hope you liked this video. Give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe my YouTube channel so you don't miss any of our future update. Share this video with your friends. Follow us on Instagram, link in description. See you next time.